Okay. So Dr. Umar-Farouk is a public health specialist with over 14 years experience in the public, private, and non-for-profit sectors across technical areas related to healthcare, management, policy dialogue, and reforms advocacy, as well as integrated health programs, including service delivery, access, and behavioral change. She has worked with projects funded by USAID, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, UNFPA, and organizations like John Snow Incorporations, Save the Children International, and Johns Hopkins University Center for Communication Programs. She co-led the advocacy efforts that used evidence-based implementation, research, and learning on community distribution of chlorhexidine for umbilical cord care and use of misoprostol for prevention of postpartum hemorrhage to set national government agenda that resulted in policy to scale up use of chlorhexidine, local production of chlorhexidine gel in Nigeria, first national newborn health conference, and 11% nationwide coverage of chlorhexidine use under a 5-year period. She's the Deputy Project Director, Risk Communications with USAID Breakthrough Action Nigeria, a social behavior change project that is focused on adopting innovative approaches such as human-centered design, behavioral economics, digital health, and strategic community engagement to guide multi-pronged coordinated interventions to address sociocultural, gender, and norms that underpin healthcare seeking behavior and practices. Dr. Umar-Farouk is currently providing technical assistance to government entities and its implementation partners on risk communication and community engagement for global health security, including COVID-19 response. She's passionate about improving health access by advocating for a shift in the way we address global health challenges by making individual, families, and communities as the center of the approach, so as to encourage participation, honor and drive the will to lead the desired change. She is committed to actively searching for innovation and spreading successful approaches that will improve health literacy and foster better health outcomes. So thank you very much, Dr. Umar-Farouk, for honoring our invitation to present here today. And the floor is yours. I believe I have stopped sharing any slides, so please feel free to share your slides. I believe you should have the right to share slides without. Are you able to share your slides, or do I need to do anything? Yeah, fine, that's fine.
Okay, I can. Good evening, everyone. Really great to be here. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So really lovely to be here, and thank you so much, Akilu, for inviting me. And I sincerely appreciate the welcome from the chairman to join this meeting. So I'm just going to make it really participatory, and as we go along, so I expect everyone to chip in into the chat box, or feel free to raise your hand, or just talk to, just join in this conversation, because wellness really is something we all need to take care of ourselves. So anybody wants to share with me what your day was like today? Was it as crazy as mine? What's your typical day like? Just
do you want us to be very honest, or we should just be political?
No, honest conversations. I like that.
If I may speak for myself, I think the weather is great here, and I think my day is a reflection of the weather as well.
Oh, nice. I like that. On my own side, the weather is hot, really hot. Well, not a usual day. I didn't think I wanted to come into the office today, but I just said, let me come into the office, and my day was no longer mine. But it's all good. We're still standing. So I'm just going to be sharing how we can improve wellness and generally how wellness should be a strategy for each and every one of us. So I'm going to take us on a ride, and please join with me. So when we look at the word wellness, and as I was working on this slide, I call back in medical school, and you go and you're seeing a patient and you just write alive and well. But the thought around wellness didn't really sink in until I was doing this. And key thing around wellness is you need to do it on a daily basis. And the goal is to improve both your physical and mental health. At the end of the day, to survive. There's a difference between surviving and thriving. And I learned that word as I was managing newborns. We used to have focus on the child surviving. But this child survives and cannot thrive, maybe probably because of poor nutrition. And then you see the child has stunted growth, can't meet up to other peers. So thrive is a key word we use now when we talk about children under 5. Alive and thrive, survive and thrive. And thrive means you're not just existing, because that's just what survival is all about. You're just living despite hardship or despite your circumstances. But thrive means that you're able to continue to prosper, to move forward, to grow. And when I look at this picture around wellness, just letting you know it's a journey. It's not something that starts in one day and it goes along. So you continue to improve on your wellness journey.
Hello,
so,
Ma.
Yes.
Please, raise your voice a bit, please.
Oh, sorry. I'm using headphones. Is it better now?
Yes, Ma, it's better.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Thank you. So why is wellness important? I'm going to speak around 4 key areas. Wellness is important generally for our productivity because poor health leads to poor productivity. We're going to talk around how to improve the practice of healthy behaviors, how wellness also helps us to reduce the risks of diseases, improve our emotional and mental health, and overall our productivity. So I'm going to start with the practice and sustaining healthy behaviors. So when we think about behaviors or starting new things, we always want to start big. But when you want to have a sustained behavior change, you start small and you go gradually. So you want to start working out. Your first step shouldn't be to go register in the gym. It could be okay, anytime I go and use the toilet, I come back, I'm going to do 2 press-ups. That's starting small and picking up behaviors that you could easily adopt. The other thing about making it simple and starting small is also anchor that new behavior on something else. So it could be when I wake up in the morning, and I need to, so if my routine is wake up and pray, so it could be do that particular thing I want to start immediately after I pray. You need to anchor whatever new behavior you're practicing on something else, or have somebody that acts as your guide or your or like accountability officer. So instead of taking 5 minutes, you could start by taking like 5 minutes walk every hour rather than saying, oh, I want to run a mile today. The second part around wellness and how it could help us to practice healthy behaviors is really regular exercise. So it's also not going for the long stretch, but starting small. For example, taking the stairs instead of the elevator could be a way to start. It could also be a way to bond, have a colleague or a friend that's also interested in this and having a partner to do this. So second part is exercise regularly. Third part is, we say this enough, but we all really... You're still not hearing me?
I think we can. We can.
Okay, let me just remove the head.
We can just, I think it's just, it cracks a little bit at some point as if maybe when you move, the speaker rubs against something. So, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna remove my headphones and try this out.
Yeah, this is much better.
Okay. So number 3 is around eating healthy, and your plate should be a variety of colors. That's what you should try to eat. A whole lot of more fruits and vegetables, and make it colorful. So if I joined the call, I was telling Akilu I was going to have an early dinner, and I had amala, ewedu, gbegiri, and fish. My amala is brown, right? My gbegiri is yellow. My ewedu is green, and then the fish was, I call it white. But I think I did a pretty good job of having different colors. Would you guys agree with me or not? If I had a healthy meal. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, it is. This is colorful.
Yes, it was colorful. Thanks. So eating healthy, you could also look at, apart from being colorful, quantity also does matter. Then fruits being a huge part of it, and making sure that the different food classes are also part of your meals is also very important. Then regular snacks, so it's better to eat more frequent meals, small meals, than having a full load at a particular time. So less is better. Getting quality sleep is another way to improve our wellness, and this could be challenging for most people, just getting into that rhythm. But one thing with getting quality sleep is routines are good. So for me, sometimes my phone's by 9 o'clock is on automatic sleep, no disturbance. So that helps sometimes. Also setting the stage or the agenda in terms of lights out and just being in that mood to say, oh, I need to get to bed early. Majority of us, as we grow older, could barely get the 6 to 8 hours of rest, but your brain does need this. So you need to find a rhythm that works for you. It's early in the evening so that within the 4 hours or so, by 9, your food has digested and it doesn't cause a problem when you want to try to sleep. So maintaining good quality sleep is another way to improve your wellness. Then practice mindfulness. So not your mind being full with so many things running through, but mindful means that you are aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your body sensation in your day-to-day. So this is a kind of, I take mindfulness as a point in which you pause and reflect. You really, again, take a step back and view yourself or even the events of the day from a third-party perspective. And it helps you to be also more self-aware. So really helping yourself to pause. It's really a great practice if you want to improve your wellness. And doing this as often as necessary will really be great. So 30 minutes every day, and it's just like, okay, I'm taking a pause from everything and just sitting down to, even if it's just to inhale, we breathe unconsciously. But when you take that moment to just pause and inhale and just, okay, this is how breathing works, you will see how your lungs expand and how your mind kind of opens. So that's another way. So I'm going to tell us to take a moment back, and almost 2 years now since the COVID pandemic, and really asking us to reflect. How did you feel at the start of the pandemic, and how do you feel now?
I think we feel comfortable now.
But at the start of the pandemic, what was running through your mind? What were some of the things you experienced?
To me, I was thinking the world is going to come to an end.
A rapture.
Yeah, that's it. We're thinking the world is coming to an end, and we're just looking at what will be the next thing that will occur after this. But we're surprised that we survived it.
Yeah. Just as we survived, we also lost some people, and just making it also, the storm is over now. I like that. But it was really a moment of uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know so much about this disease, but we've been able to maintain a certain level of, okay, whatever happens, we'll continue to thrive. And I think that's why we are here today. And everyone also coming together to understand the disease better. In some countries, really able to follow through with guidance from the different health authorities and just listen more and practice some of those behaviors that they've asked us to practice. But everybody now is in the point of, okay, relief. But the truth of the matter is, I don't think life can get back to where it was 2 years ago. Do we think we would? We are back to where we were 2 years ago? Or there's been some slight changes or things are back to normal in Manchester?
Yeah, things are back to normal in Manchester, but not just that normal, because if you are going to the health facility, you still need your nose mask, you still need to wash your hand and do. So previously, we were not washing our hands. That healthy part of life, we're not looking at it, but now it has become part of everybody here. That's it.
Yeah, thanks. I see Adekunle Adeni. Go on and share as well if you want to.
Okay, please go ahead, Ma.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so so the other part of being well also helps you reduce risk of diseases. So when you are actively eating healthy, exercising, being mindful, your risk of disease is also reduced. In the act of also practicing healthy behaviors, one of the things is also regular health checks that helps you to look at, okay, what are my disease risk factors, and then also working on it. So being well also is a form of being reduction in risk of diseases. So I'm going to go into the third bucket, which is around emotional and mental health and how it improves productivity. So emotional health is one part of mental health. It's really the ability to cope with both positive and negative emotion, and being self-aware is really one of them. When we have poor mental health or stress, it definitely affects our overall performance and productivity. When we even look at the definition of health, really is a state of, it's just not about the absence of disease, but it encompasses your physical, mental, social, and economic well-being. So health is really a big bucket. And when it comes to emotional and mental health, it also has to do with intrinsic. So your body, your mind, and your spirit. So it's more internal than external, okay, what everybody else is seeing. Productivity is an aspect of life that supports our career success. Whenever we feel drained, you understand, it's just like how your phone feels when you have like less than 20%, depending on how you set it, and it becomes yellow. You should never reach a point where you feel drained. You should understand yourself so well that you know at which point, oh, I'm running out of power, then I need to recharge. And how we recharge differs for each and every one of us. So the first thing is, how do we maintain a positive mental and emotional health? One key thing is social connectedness. How do you connect to others? And it's really not just, it has to do with both sides, the quantity and the quality. How often do you socialize? And for me, it's also the physical one and not just the one on social media. How do we relate with the next person? And I'm glad that Chairman mentioned that in the next few weeks, you guys are going to kind of like have an event. So that's part of the social connectedness. The other thing is the quality. So you could actually be connected to someone, living with someone, but it's still a toxic environment. So the quality of your relationship also does matter. And it leads to being self-aware. So you need to understand yourself, your own thoughts, your own values, your own passion, before you can understand the next person. So self-awareness really is intrinsic. How do you see yourself? What values do you possess? What are your thoughts? What do you hold in high esteem? If you are not self-aware, you are not going to be emotionally intelligent. And being self-aware also helps you to understand your own strength and your own weakness and how you can navigate through it. So when somebody is telling you, oh, Olayinka, this, because you understand yourself and you know, oh, that's true, that's me. Some of them you need to work on it rather than being defensive of some of your bad habits or things that are weakness for you. And the other way to also look at some of this is you also complement with others. You can't know it all. You can't be the best in everything. But how do you work as a team, either in your family unit or within the workspace? So just being self-aware, understanding yourself will go a long way in you being able to manage your emotions and then manage others effectively. So how can you become more self-aware? Okay, make time for yourself. We'll talk more about self-care. Keep a journal. Write your emotions out. So when you look at the part of that, pause and reflect, it could also help you to do some journaling. But how did my day go? Why do I feel like this when XYZ is around? Or why is Fridays always more stressful? Why do I keep on? So when you pause and reflect, you could also add journaling to it. And we've also talked about mindfulness. And mindfulness could also be, again, being in that zone for yourself and say, oh, I'm taking this time out and I'm not just even going to do anything. I'm just going to relax and just sit on the couch or just do whatever it is you feel like doing at that particular time. So what does self-care means? So it differs for every one of us. And do not ever use another person's benchmark to as a yardstick for yours. So it could mean staying still for a while. It could mean breathing. It could just mean just taking water. It could just mean just switching off your phone for an hour. It could be, again, just that alone time in the park. But you really need to identify what self-care means for you, where you give yourself that alone time, that pampering time, and it's just about you. And it's not selfish, because you can't give if you are not full. You can only be full and you're overpouring to others. So you need to be full in terms of you yourself, you are mentally prepared, emotionally stable, before that can radiate or the excess one now pours over to another person. So self-care really is a new healthcare, and self-care should be something we enjoy doing instead of something we feel forced to do. So we all need to find out what that self-care means to each and every one of us. So I'm going to end with let go of your worries, focus on your wellness, and you watch your productivity go higher. And with that, I'll end and say again, water. hydrating, nothing beats that when you add that as the layer onto how you are practicing self wellness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Umar-Farouk. I feel like my awareness level has increased just listening to your wonderful tips. But before I proceed to ask for comments, can I just quickly acknowledge the presence of our Deputy President, Margaret Oguntala. She's here with us. Maybe she can make a remark and also perhaps ask a question before I ask mine. Deputy President, ma.
Good evening, my chairman.
Yeah, welcome, ma. Thank you very much, ma, for honoring us.
Thank God. It's good to see you.
Thank you, ma.
And be part of this. Yes, thank you very much. The guest speaker, Olayinka. In fact, this morning, I woke up feeling that I needed some care. So when I saw the reminder for this webinar, I was very happy, that at least I will get some tips on how to take care of myself. And I guess it's most of the time it's more emotional for a lot of people like me than physical. There are times when I just feel tired emotionally and I don't know what to do. So that's my own question. What do you do when you feel tired emotionally? But before, hello?
Yes, I'm here with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, but let me commend you because I think what we all need right now is somebody to steer us in the right direction of taking care of ourselves. Because until you are able to take care of yourself, like you said, you have to be full and overflowing to be able to offer anything to anybody else. So thank you very much, Manchester branch, as always, for giving this to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma, and really thanks for coming online. So yeah, we get to that point and we should not reach that point of just being emotionally tired. So sometimes what I do is run away from it all, and I'll tell people I'm Olayinka first before somebody's wife or mother or sister. I came alone. So just taking that time off just to say, be you. It might want to look selfish, but it's not selfish. So I'll say, take a break from everything else and just, even if it's just 1 hour or just one day, and tell everybody, no, I'm not your mom today. I'm not around. And just having that moment to yourself, because the truth of the matter is, by the time you've reached that level, you are snapping, you are doing this, and it just becomes, oh, why is mommy being aggressive? Or why is she behaving like this? But if you can just take a step back from what everyone expects you to be and just be that person that was born on that particular day that didn't have any care in the world for anyone, and then by the time you come back, you feel refreshed and able to take up new things. So don't reach that point of, man, this is this. But once you are getting close to that, take a step back and just leave everything like out of body experience, yes. And take that day, even if it's some hours you could get of just not being responsible for any human being. It helps. It helps a lot.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma. Maybe can I ask a question before I pass on to Patrick to acknowledge one of our guests here? To what extent is finance a barrier to mindfulness awareness?
Great question. So, but if you go, one of the things I mentioned is start small. So what healthy behavior do you want to pick up from? Cost of pizza compared to the vegetables? Which one is more expensive? I did not say go and carry broccoli, but just look at those kind of things. If joining a gym does not work, okay, what's there in my house that I can pick? what's there? Can I look at YouTube videos if I already have internet subscription? What's the cost of bottle of water compared to that soda? And then, so we sometimes take those big things and just feel like, yes. And then the truth of the matter also, if you're also not financially stable, it will definitely affect your wellness. And you're in a good system whereby you could have payment plans, things that, again, work out for you a bit, that you have some things structured. So there's opportunity to look at that. But overall, financial is not a huge barrier to wellness. That's what I'll say.
Thank you very much. I can't see any question on the chat box, but maybe open it up for others to speak. Anyone who has a question, please, can you chip it in?
Yeah, my chairman. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, Engineer Kundayo. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, when we're talking of well-being, I think it can have an expansive meaning. What I mean by that is that, like the speaker said, that finances may not be part of well-being. Yeah, because I believe that finance, if within your limits, is a kind of mindset or contentment. But other things is that the other thing that surrounded human being, like other factors like your relatives, you're thinking of others, about they are going to survive life while you are the only concentrated point or rally point for others, can affect somebody's well-being. Because you want to meet their demand and make sure that even if they cannot be up to you, but you want to satisfy them, then you want to run other means of making them happy. Because you believe, like in an African country, we believe that we are dependent on each other. I think it can affect human being well-being. If that is correct, I think I want to hear from the speaker. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. We do live in a community, so that's the truth. And we do have so many people that we need to take care of. As you also rightly mentioned, when you are within your own spending limit, but you still have others that you need to worry about. So one of the things that we should also, self-reliance, to what extent are we also able to make sure that the opportunities we get, we are also making sure our relatives are also able to get it. Because if you are waking up every morning to go to work and you continue to sleep and not even trying to make attempt or something, there's always way, we just need to make sure that we are also encouraging them to get up on their feet and do things as well. And I do get where you're coming from. It's just enormous, the number of people that is dependent on one person. It's enormous, and it can definitely affect your mental wellness. So as much as possible, as we are rising, we rise, we make sure that others are rising, being deliberate about it. And it's not just you, but also you could also look at load shedding when you're in a balance. So I take my siblings and I, for example, everybody, irrespective of where, who, we all, again, same amount, so that nobody feels like, oh, you're higher or lower than me. So whatever we're doing for our parents, everybody same amount, because they all brought us up together. There was nothing distinct. So it depends on individual situation, but I get where you're coming from. It's a tough one, but whatever we can load shed, and whatever we can, we take as much as we can take. But have at the back of your mind, you need to be full before you can overpour and touch others. Over.
Thank you very much, Umar-Farouk, for that beautiful response. I don't know, there are a few questions on the chat box. Are you able to see the chat box, or do you want to read from the chat box? I think I have one.
Okay.
That says, how can one work towards watching his or her waist, especially when you cross 40 years barrier?
Yeah, so I see that majority of us are in this barrier. And unfortunately, we were not taught early enough, but we need to start now and start gradually. So our outer body it's a function of what we eat. That's the truth. It's what you take in, your body digests and spreads it in different parts. So it's really first things would be what you eat would be the first thing. Then exercising and starting small. So key things for someone like me is I've reduced, so my plate size, instead of using the full plate, is like this side dish that I now make sure that my food comes in, and it must not be overflowing, because again, you might still want to still put that same quantity inside a side dish. So you could do things like a side dish as your new plate, helping yourself to watch the weight. You could also definitely eating healthy, cutting down the quantity, then exercising is one of the ways. It's tougher now, but if you start small and also have someone that serves as your, or like call it, accountability manager. So you have a friend or a colleague or your spouse that says, oh, have you done this today? That checks up on you. So I have a friend that will just call me and say, Olayinka, are you drinking water? Just helping you to hydrate. Then drink more water so that you are fuller rather than looking for food. So those are some of the few tips we can I would like to share.
Thank you very much for that response. I think then I'll read one more question, then maybe invite Engineer Gracious Omashe to maybe make a remark for us. What is the best therapy you can recommend to improve intelligent quotient?
Ooh. I would say reading, and especially because it opens your mind to different possibilities. Reading will be one of the key things. And yeah, reading, aside some of the other things I've mentioned, sleep well, eat healthy, but reading opens your mind to a lot of things.
Okay. Can I invite Engineer Gracious, please? Former NIEEE National Chairman, please.
Yes, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
It's a pleasure being with you today. All along, I've been trying to get in touch with you when you have your meetings, but I'm fortunate to get in touch with you all today. It's quite interesting because the truth of the matter is self-awareness. If you don't organize yourself properly, there's a saying that goes that you must dress the way you want to be addressed. And actually, this has to do with everything. It's not necessarily that you are proud, but you want to ensure that dirty clothing will make you to either have skin disease, or as you breathing in the small particles, which we normally know as atoms, the one you don't see, you breathe them in gradually. Before you know it, we start saying it is witches or wizards. Some of them we invite them ourselves. So I think this lecture today is apt, and I want to thank you all for organizing this because it's not a mean venture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And Patrick, do you have any comment? I can't see any more question or comment.
No, I don't think there is any more comments, but there's been about 2 requests for contact the branch. I think in addition to numbers being shared, we've got our website where we have the contact of any of the executives you would like to speak to. So you can check out our website for those who are interested in that. So if we've got 2 of those inquiries on this call, it shows there might be some other people who are also interested in getting in touch with the branch, and I've just pasted the website of the branch. So please take a look at it. Thank you.
Dr. Akilu, there's no question. If there's no question, do we want to draw this to a close by inviting our General Secretary to give a vote of thanks?
Thank you, Chairman. So before I give the vote of thanks, I have a question for the speaker. Dr. Umar-Farouk, I would like to ask a question. How do you deal with grief in the midst of chaotic workload?
You need to take time out because you are definitely not going to be doing the work. You really need to take time out. You can't be doing the work and be grieving at the same time. It's just, you can't connect with it. It's not a good situation at all. So it's not something that works together. Grieving and then having to give your best performance, or even not even your best performance, give your like every day. So you need to take time out and grieve. And we see grieving as something people shouldn't be doing. And it's kind of like wrong. Cry if you need to. It's okay. Because if you don't let it out, it's just going to accumulate. So you need to step back, grieve, then come back to what you need to do. You can't combine it, honestly.
Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, I'd like to say thank you to you for such an interesting presentation, and thanks for sharing tips on how, practical tips on how we can improve our wellness, because if we are not well, it means we won't be productive, and if we are not productive, we might not be able to earn our salaries. So thank you for coming around. We hope that when we call on you next time, you would answer. And to all our participants, thank you for joining us. Thank you to everybody for coming to our technical session today. We hope you continue to attend our activities and continue to support the branch. And to all our ESCO members, thank you for all the good work you are all doing. So have a good weekend, everyone, and please stay with us if you can for our general meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. I really enjoyed being here. So do enjoy the